We met in high school, right before junior year officially we met. We kind of knew through mutual friends. We're from a town of like tiny, so pretty easy to know who he is, but I officially met him junior year.
5th grade was the first time we met, but really didn't know each other existed. She knew me as the guy who liked her best friend, or one of her best friends, and yeah, one thing led to another. We both went to prom, opposite dates, and ended up talking quite a bit during the night. And yeah, that's what kind of sparked it for me. I knew that she was a cool girl, and the rest is history.
So originally I thought he did like one of my best friends. So I kind of teased her about that for a while. And then we have our top 5 list. And he officially made the top 5 on my list. And while we were talking about it, he actually called me up and asked me out on a date. So that was pretty cool, I guess. Thought I'd try it out. We went to Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
Worst first date ever. Went to a movie that was supposed to be a big group of people going. Everybody backed out. Just Amanda and I left. And yeah, after we watched the movie, everything went fine, and then apparently I thought that meant we should be boyfriend-girlfriend, and she didn't like that idea right away. She thought we should take it a little slower than that, so it was a little rocky to start things off.
I was first attracted to Jake when, well, I knew him as the jock of the school, so I guess you could say I was kind of into the athletes, and he just seemed a little different than all the other guys, which I like original, so I guess I was kind of drawn to that. He's super funny, but like I said, kind of back to the side a little bit, not trying to be super noticed, which I noticed. So yeah, I thought he's kind of opposite of me, which I really liked. He always seems pretty calm, cool, and collected with everything. He's got a couple little weird things, you know. He's got to fold his laundry just so, you know, certain socks have to go a certain way and everything else, which is beyond me. But then he'll leave his clothes laying out everywhere, which makes no sense. Other than that, I really have to remind him to clip his toenails, which is really gross. But otherwise, he's just very Jake.
She refuses to dry the dishes. She'll wash them and then leave them out to air dry, which it's the opposite of what I would like. I'd like to just get them done with and have a clean place. But yeah, she refuses to dry the dishes. She has to ball her socks. And a neat freak, big time neat freak, but so am I, so we go well together.
The proposal. We were actually going out to dinner, celebrating me paying off my loans, believe it or not. Apparently, if you ask him, he had planned like 3 other things, but I guess I'm pretty busy.
I kept trying to plan something, and she'd always come up with, oh, I gotta do this with so-and-so. I'm like, well, can you reschedule? No, I haven't seen them forever. So after about the 4th time, it was like, okay, we're going to dinner. It's just before Christmas, so we were going to dinner, and it just kind of happened. We had dinner. I asked the waitress if she could take a picture for us.
Which he never does, like ever. He rolls his eyes when we take pictures. So I was just kind of like, oh sure, whatever. I go to scoot in my side of the booth, and all of a sudden he was down on one knee and said, Amanda Christine Marski, will you marry me? So I freaked out, of course. Didn't believe him, asked if this was real life probably 10 times.
She sat there dumbfounded and said, is this real, for about 30 seconds. And I said, yep, it is, and you still haven't said yes. So what's your answer? And then she said yes, and all was well. I didn't get to really talk to her the rest of that night because she was on the phone with parents and family, telling them all the big news, but it was a good night.
Well, I told my mom right off the bat. I had to call her. which ended up being kind of a funny story. Her boyfriend Tony is quite the jokester, so he kept saying, "Who are you trying to get a hold of? What's her name? I don't know if I know her." And this went on for probably what felt like 3 minutes. And finally, he gives the phone to Mom. She's at dinner in a loud restaurant. So I screamed, "Mom, I'm engaged!" And she's like, "What? Hold on, let me go outside." And I'm like, okay. So I'm just sitting in the car freaking out. Finally, we go outside, or she goes outside, and I'm like, "We're engaged!" She freaked out officially. It was awesome. So I told my mom. I then called my stepmom Lisa and all 3 of my sisters. So they were the first ones to know. Jake, I love you. And today is the day we're finally getting married after a long but short 8 years. You're one of the coolest guys I've ever met, for sure, probably the coolest. And you really mean a lot to me. And I can't wait to grow old with you, really keep you on your toes. Just kind of be feisty and have a lot of fun and just live life. I love you.
Amanda, I love you. I can't wait to grow old with you. I know at times we'll fight, and I probably won't tell you you're right, but know I always love you. Can't wait to grow old and raise children with you. They'll be the most beautiful things, and can't wait.